Well, on this hunt, I thought I'd check out an old farmhouse I'd been to a couple of times over the last 2 years. And here it is. Built in 1925-26. Used to say they was an old farmhouse here built back in the 1800s and it burnt down in the early 1920s. So they built this one, and they said the family lived in a barn for 2 years till they had it built. Now nobody's lived in this house for the last 15 years that I know of. And I've hunted it a couple of times, I said before. Now it's about 70 degrees today, and it's sprinkling rain, bad storm. So we'll see how long I can get in this. But anyway, I'll bring you up to date here. When I'd hunted this 2 times before, I'd hunted it with a Technetics Delta 4000 metal detector. And it picked up just about anything you wanted to pick up, but it couldn't distinguish which one you need to dig. There's 1,000 targets around here, and I dug till I was tired of digging. So I thought I'd try it this time with my Equinox, my Mind Lab Equinox 600. It could tell me the difference in the tone, and maybe I can find some old corn. So there's the history on this thing. So let's see what this thing does and what we can find today. So let's get started. There's a 38-39. Good high pitch. But until I get it in my hands, don't get your hopes up. The way it is. Good high pitch, Jake. There it is. Don't know what it is. Big chunk of metal. It don't look like tin. It's awful thick. Some kind of galvanized metal. And that's it, I just broke it loose. So, good signal. You've got to dig these signals. That's what I'm saying. I'll have to dispose of that. Okay. Put that in my trash bag. We're moving on. There's a 22 with no iron. Good tone, but like I said, there's just so much trash. That's gravel here. Part of the old driveway. Look there. Finally, a penny. An old penny. Finally. But it's an old wheat penny. It's not a wheat penny. See if I can see what it is. It's an old Lincoln. But finally, a penny of all this trash. Let's see if I can clean it up. It ain't gonna hurt it to put a brush on it. That's a 2000. So it's just 21 years old. But it's a penny where this old driveway was. Yeah. At least it's a penny. But I know there's some old coins here. It's finding out which one of these targets do you dig. There ain't but countless targets here. Countless. Alright,
Stay on this old driveway here, growed up. See what I can find. Don't say no iron right here. Let's hope it's another pin. No, I haven't hit nothing. Look here. There's somebody's. Fishing line. Not fishing line, but where they hook the fish. Look at that. What's the odds of finding that here in these woods? These old mountains. River's 2 miles away. Well, that's an old find. Old tackle line where they put the fish on. Okay, we're gonna move on. So much trash. That's a 33 good tone. But that don't mean nothing. Not in this ground. Too much trash. Let's see if I can't pinpoint it. Right there. There's one of the items. Looks like a little twist screw, don't it? Tightened down on something. Just so much trash. I'm digging up concrete now. I'm not gonna go no deeper. Got to be a better target than that. All right, I'm moving on. There's a 20 no iron. Good tone right there. There's just so much trash in this yard. It's trying to pull out the good tones. Let's see. That's what I was afraid of. That's a 45 caliber right there, round. When I dug this before, I could find these just by the handful. 45 APC. Okay. You never know. Yep, there's another one. Another automatic 45 auto. Says federal on it. Yep. Here's another one. I'm going to abandon this hoe. All right, we're moving on. Amongst other trash. But let's hope it ain't another brass case. I ain't picking it up. Well, there's a pull tab, that's for sure. Okay, moving on. But let's see what we got here. It's just so much trash. It ain't worth showing you. Gone. Well, an old nail give that high signal. An old nail, old square nail. That one shows a 22 with a touch of iron. There's other trash around it too. We'll see. Don't know what that is. A piece of key stock or something. Broke off. That was it, guys. Moving on to another good talk. There's a 28. Go back here. So, see what we got here. Hunk of metal, looks like a piece of tin. That's all it is, wadded up can. We're gonna move on again. Shows a 28. 23. A good tone. But what I've noticed when I was digging this before is there's so many shell cartridges laying around here that it fools you. Brass, too much brass laying in the ground here. We're gonna see. We're gonna give it another try. Old pop lid. There's your good tone. Ours a 17. Good tone. Good tone. But you get food. Too much trash. They got to be some old coins in this, around this house somewhere. More old trash. Part of a can. See, that's aluminum can. It's hard to distinguish between these. I'm looking for that certain pitch for the coin. So on these high pitches, I have to dig them. So we're moving on.
Well, guys, here's today's finds. I spent about 3 hours up at that place. I bet you there is well over 1,000 targets around that old house. It's so old. Which one do you dig? I've done been to that place twice in the last 2 years. This makes the third time. And I thought this equinox would make a difference. And it did make a little bit of difference. But still, even with the high tones distinguishing, you still find a lot of trash. These right here will fool you more than anything. These ain't just old regular nails. These nails are so old, they're forged. And they give a good tone too. You can't hardly weed them out. They're made out of a different kind of metal back then. They're so old. Like I said, now before that house there, I was told that there was an 1800s house there, and it burnt down in early 1920s. And they built this other house in 1924 to 26 and lived in it. Nobody's lived in that house for the last 15 years that I know of. So you can see what I found here. Found a lot of this. Man, they sure do a lot of this around that house. 45 auto. And just keep finding these things. They're just full of them ran through. Just full of them. And find a lot of old aluminum stuff like this. You think that's an old can? I don't know what that is. It don't look like a can, it's like something round, but it is aluminum. And it'll make that metal detector scream too. It is aluminum. This right here will make them scream too. Aluminum pop lid, old pop lid. And these old tabs, place is full of them, old tabs. See all these right here. But I did manage to find a coin. After 3 trips, I did find a coin. But it's not no super old. It ain't no weed or nothing. It's no clad, looks like. It cleans up real good. It's a 2000. 2000 penny. At least I found a penny. And I did find something that's really weird. An old stringer. Look here. Old fish stringer. That thing was about 8 or 10 inches down in the ground right there. I've seen a lot of fish stringers, but not with chains on them like that. Is that weird? That's an old one. About rotted away in places. Old fish stringer. I thought that was cool. Old pieces of metal. I don't know what this is. A cap to something. It's aluminum though. It made that metal detector scream. Good tone. Had to dig it. Right here's an old wing nut. Old wing nut.
Well, there's today's finds, guys. These old nails, they really scratch your head. They're not regular nails where you could weed them out like a barbed wire pinch or something like that. These things is made out of, I don't know what, they're so old. They're forged metal. From way back in the old day. Must have been part of that old house that used to be there, the original. So, there's today's finds, guys. Now, it's first of the year. Hunting season's over. And I'm getting back in that untouched ridges back in here, beyond here. And I'm looking forward to that. Weather permitting, I'll get back in there. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.